I love this opener. It's kind of like, it's almost dreamlike. So, it's so good. Like, I could fall asleep to that. And then definitely not to that. This song sounds like the opening track to, I don't like a Mad Max movie. Like, give me Fury Road 2 and put Jason Charles Miller in there playing this song. Hell yeah. That would be so cool. Hello, everybody! Dashes, I see you. Star Chaser, I see you. Half B. Half B, what's your other half? Is it also B? Because that's probably the best way to be. To be the B. Fingers crossed. Send me your energy. Thoughts and prayers. Hopefully today's show will go better than last week's. I've streamed Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday of this past week. Didn't have any problems. I did some test recordings. Didn't have any problems. So far, we're all green, no drop frames, but we don't have the webcam up yet. We don't have the game up yet, so we'll see how it goes. Wilbur, you gotta go to the bathroom. Get over to the bathroom. Cabot, your evergreen shiny hunt is over. Oh my god. That's amazing. Congratulations. I remember it was a huge ordeal for me to get that far myself. So hey, welcome to the Cool Kids Club. Hey Lauren. Always happy to have you around. My worst stream is better than most streamers' best. Oh, a star! That is very unfair to other streamers, but thank you nonetheless. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you all could at least hear me last week, but yeah. I'm sorry I had to pull the plug on it. But I could not in good conscience continue that stream. It seemed unsalvageable. But this week may be better. I really hope so. We'll see how it goes. Soon. Very soon. Don't forget to throw your questions at me. I've got Sasha helping me out today. Thank you, Sasha! Sasha already knows I appreciate them. But still. Hello, Elaski. Welcome. Star, starting us off strong. How do you go so fast? Well, Star. You see, it's a combination of speed champions, speed potions, and the fast Modron core. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. Let's do the dang thing. Greetings, champions, and welcome to Mars County Han. I am Mars, and this is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a free-to-play, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons strategy management game from Codename Entertainment. On this partner stream, we take a look at the latest content, discuss strategies, and answer any questions that you might have about the game. So, get cozy. Join me for a couple of hours. We're going to talk about all things Idle Champions. Today is Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. This is episode 73. We're going to be talking about round 2, but more like round 1 because I had to cancel last week, of Agaren's Day, or Egg Heron's Day. This is a fun way to say it. Year 4. We've got the return of Jim, the return of Omen, and the debut of Prudence. Tiefling Warlock of Cthulhu, of all things. I'm not wearing my hat. I can fix that. I can fix that. I can fix that. Now I'm in uniform. That's better. There. Do you recognize me now? It's Mars. Hi. That's better. And I tried to show this off last week, but... Bardic Inspiration shirt! Woo! Love it. Oh, it's Mars! Now, what I've got on the screen right here is just a little update for anyone who joined me for my Mars on Monday Idol Champion show on my own stream, on my own channel. I can't beat this. I was trying to do the Zerial Patron variant of Gargoth's Betrayal, which is a goal of Area 800. It ain't happening, team. I got my Orkira up to E14 healing. I got my Briv up to E05 Netherese Steel stacks. And even with full Baloth stacks on all 10 champions, I can't do it. I can't do it. Full potions, everything. I can't get past this stage. So I'm calling it at 755. I'm going to hit that reset. This hurts, but let this be a lesson. Even like big names in Idol Champions, like myself, there's still stuff we can't do. There's always a challenge. There's always the next challenge. Hey, Trevor. Good to see you. It's been a long time since I've seen this. Gargoth's Betrayal. Incomplete. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. But I got my favor up from E30 to E33. So that's cool, at least. Now, what I'm going to do today, now that that's taken care of, I'm going to come over here. And I actually want to do some Prudence free plays. And I'm going to set up my fast core. I want to turn this on, I want to turn this on. Do I actually have a speed formation set up yet? I don't! I should do that. I have struggles with stuff, yeah, I'm channeling B-Dave. I mean, he is like a role model for me, so he's an inspiration. What a cool guy. But go ahead and start sending your questions over, because I do have Sasha helping me out today. Thank you, Sasha. Sasha's going to be grabbing your questions from the chat, from Twitch chat, and putting into a questions document for me to review when I have time to do so that I may actually answer y'all's questions, whatever it may be. Hopefully something related to Idol Champions. But I guess other things are also available. There's always the starter question every stream. Mars, what is today's tea? Well, today's tea is from Miracle Tree brand. This is super caffeinated moringa infusion green tea lemon ginger. So it's a lemon ginger green tea, but it's got just more caffeine than normal, I guess. There's dried moringa leaves, green tea, ginger root, lemon pieces, sweet fennel, natural lemon flavor, and caffeine tea extract. And there's a blank spot on it, so I drew a persnickety little kitty. There you go. I drew a cute little kitty cat on it. That's all. Just a darling little kitty. Because I like to have fun. Okay, you know what? Hey, Briv. I don't want you in here, Briv. I do want Shandy in here because what I'm going to do is initially I'm going to set up a speed team here so that we can just blast through Prudence free plays while we chat and do questions. So let me just get a speed team set up in here. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Okay, let's do bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, bloop. Is that all the slots? Yes, it is. Okay, and go. Alright, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do sure, I don't care. Yep, extra supplements. Sure, that's fine. Yep, ranger training. Impressive footwork. Sure, echoes will. Okay, great. And I don't want familiars on all of the ultimates. I do want familiars on the field, on leveling all of my champions, and on Humon's ultimate specifically. And now, let me just rearrange people in here. I guess I could have Havilar out here for speed champion purposes, even though she's really not going to be necessary. I don't think we fight any fiends on this one. There we go. Alright, and this is fine. The placements of all the champions except Humon don't really matter. I just need to make sure that I have Zrang on top. Okay, good. That's all that matters. Now let's save this as speed. Alright, great. And now we are good to go with just having it blast through... That's better. Having it blast through my Prudence free play so that we can get some Prudence chest. Okay, so let's enjoy the ride. Yeah, we definitely have enough favor to like get these people going. Alright, great. So, how are you all doing? How has your week been? You know, I'm around the Discord, even if I don't always, like, talk. Because I'm a moderator, I'm constantly at least checking the Discord. Watching you. You know, just trying to do the good job moderating. But, I don't know how you all have been. How's your week? How's your event going? Have you built up... That's the wrong tiefling. Have you built up your Prudence? Oh, for that matter, let's actually get Prudence out here. It's our event, after all. And, for that matter, let's put a familiar on her ultimates. That'll be fun. Override her for the speed formation, and have a familiar on the ultimate. Yeah! So at least maybe we'll blast some ultimates, and just have some fun visuals to watch from time to time. Oh no! How terrible! I forgot to actually select... There we go. That's what I want. Now they're gonna handle everything for me. There we go. Get the familiar off of Rama so I don't have to deal with that again on another run. Great! Whoa, Elduin, Prudence full collection and shiny. Dang, Elduin! You worked fast! You worked very fast! Full shiny, too? Jeez! Impressive. Alright, so, normal lady regular. Hi, Mars. Hi. I'd love some advice on what to prioritize next. Alright, I got you, fam. I have full perks on all 4 patrons. Hey, you're ahead of me! Nicely done. Rhea unlocked in all 3 parties, so it feels like all the obvious ones are out of the way. Any ideas, or is it straight up dealer's choice at this point? Honestly, you're doing great. That's fantastic. Why didn't it save these specializations? Okay, that's better. You're doing fantastic. You've already completed all your patron stuff. You've already completed, I'm unlocking all of your evergreens. And you have all 3 of your Modron parties. Do you have your, at least one of your Modron cores? Your Modest core would be the best one for this, at full epic? Like mine, over here? Like, do you have your Modest core? Nope, not that one. Yes, this one. Do you have this Modron core already full epic? That could be your next priority, because that's going to make a huge difference. It's like 100 stages difference for pushing. So, try that. If you've already done that, then yeah, dealer's choice. Congratulations! You've caught up! Now just wait for the next big thing to drop. Garth Mindfeather. Question, do you know? I had a history teacher in high school. Just a quick aside, I had a history teacher in high school who would say, do you know? Every day, multiple times a day. It never got annoying, it was always hilarious. So, Anyway, Garth Mindfeather, do you know? Is the Champions of Renown Year 3 pack going on sale before it's retired in a few days? I think it'll release the shop next week. I do not know if that's going on sale. I apologize. I do not know if that one's going on sale. Cassius. Question, are you pondering that Hot P cliffhanger as much as I am? I haven't caught up. No spoilers. No spoilers. I have not caught up. I'm aware that something has happened, but I don't know what. Onyx Squared, hi. Is Humon's walking feat a high-value item? Is it worth using all my gems and temporarily postpone getting purple on all my core team? Thank you. Let's check. Walking lessons for carefully balanced, and walking lessons is carefully balanced. Here's the Zorang's teamwork ability. Yes! Because that's the speed mechanic. That's the feat that improves Humon's speed mechanic. And Humon's speed mechanic is the best thing about them. So, get it. I would definitely prioritize that. If, there's a big caveat here, if playing quickly and optimally matters to you. If you don't mind so much, then don't worry about it. Baby League, hey, question. From your Monday show overlay in your T-Pack, I see that you like kitties. I do! I like kitties. I like cats. I'm a cat person, through and through. Do I have any kitties? And if I do, can we see the kitty? Oh, yeah, I have 2 cats, currently. I have a boy cat and a girl cat. Boy cat is very young. His name is Magic. He actually lived with an entirely different family, escaped from their house, and started living in our yard for months. And we eventually tracked down the original owner, but they could not get that cat to come home, so they just gave up and said, "You can have him." Okay. He wants to live with me, so cool. Yeah, his name is Magic, and he is the most dog-like cat I have ever met. He likes belly scratches. He likes rolling around in the dirt. He's a very dog-like cat. He'll play fetch. It's weird. He must have been raised with cats, or like with dogs or something. Trevor, you had a teacher that said, "Do you understand?" after almost every sentence. That sounds terrible. That actually sounds really annoying. But I have another cat, and she has had many names because she is very old. She's like, I don't know, 16 years old and going. But I call her Friend. She is a brown tabby cat, and she's an old scraggly grandma cat, and when she meows, she sounds like a chain smoker. You know, very gravelly voice, but I think it's a part of her charm. It's adorable. She will purr for hours. She'll lay on my lap and let me read to her and fall asleep for hours. So, I do have cats and I love them. Lord Javax, what is your wild offer? Let's find out together, because this popped up as soon as I started to stream. So, it looks like it is all champion damage, Percival, golden epic for Donar, 8 gold Donar chests, shiny, 1 time gate piece, 500 gems for $10 redos. I do use Donar as part of my main Ashara DPS squad, but I'm not as thrilled about all champion damage items as I would be for things like Lead by Example and Aura of Vitality. Those would be much more exciting for me, slot 3 and 4. Slot 2, not as good, so I think I'm going to pass on that one. You know, we all have different ways that we make decisions about that, I suppose, but that's how I do mine. Flanagan, question, are you English? I speak English. I was thinking someone like you was more of a coffee man. I like hot tea and cold coffee. And generally speaking, I like tea more than coffee. Every episode of this show, I have a cup of tea. Every single episode. There's always a cup of tea. And cheers, everyone, by the way. If you have your own delicious beverage, I would like to know. And it's okay if it's not tea. I just want to know. You got something nice you're sipping on? Let me know what it is. Cheers. Hope you're having a good time. But no, I'm American. I'm over in the States, born and raised. I just very much appreciate a good hot cup of tea. Always have. Hero Pro. Hi, Mars. Hi. Did you manage to finish Zariel's Gargoth's Betrayal the other day? Nope. Did you learn anything from it? I actually did. This is cool. It wasn't a waste of time, because I actually did learn how to set up an Orkira stacks formation. Okay? I actually learned how to... And it wasn't even that difficult. I assumed it was difficult. Erroneously. I assumed it was going to be very difficult to set this up, but it wasn't. I just needed to put out nothing but DPS champions, and also Artemis, Archon with Usurp, and Orkira. And then I just had to set it up so that Orkira wasn't healing Artemis and Archon, but that Archon was next to someone who was getting healed by Orkira, so that he was usurping it, and then Artemis was observing from Archon and everyone else getting healed, so that he was healing like E11 health per tick of Orkira's healing. That's a lot of health. So I got Orkira's healing stacked all the way up to E14, but even at that point, it still wasn't enough. I couldn't beat stage 755 out of 800. I had to beat 800, but I couldn't get past 755. Next time I do it, I'm going to build up way more Briv stacks and use Briv jumping a little bit more intelligently, a little bit more strategically, and I'm definitely going to be setting up Orkira stacks again. I saved a formation so that I can try that again. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, if stressful, but a lot of fun, and I definitely learned things in the process. Thanks for asking. Empress Newt Newt, question. How do you set up that automation thing? Also, any other tips or advice for new players? Just recently started Idle Champions. Well, welcome to Idle Champions! It's good to have ya, Empress Newt Newt. Good to have ya. Glad you're with us. I hope you enjoy yourself. But how do I set up that automation thing? So, this is multi-party mode, or multi-adventure mode, okay? And, it is something that you unlock when you're deeper into the game. You gotta get a good distance into the game before you can actually do that. But the way to get that started is you need to have at least 2 characters in each slot. So like this is bench slot 1. You start with Brunor. So you need to have at least Brunor plus 1 other character in slot 1. And you have to have the same thing for every other slot, all the way out to slot 12. Once you have at least 2 in every slot, then you can play an adventure called Split the Party, which is your first step into the wonderful and confusing world of Modron automation and multi-party mode. In multi-party mode, you have multiple parties that you can send on different adventures, and you also get introduced to Modron cores, also called the pipe game. And the pipe game is where you place all of these pipes. You get these from special Modron component chests. They look like this. And by placing these pipes, you can activate lots of different good effects, stuff that helps you out, makes you stronger, makes enemies weaker. And most importantly, you gain the ability to automate your teams so that you can actually do fun things like setting up a specific formation, telling them what area to go to and then reset automatically, and even to use potions, optionally. Then you can choose exactly what potions you want them to use. Yeah. So, it may be a while before you have that going for you, but that's plenty of time for you to learn other aspects of the game in Empress Newt Newt. And the most important aspect of the game is the community. And that's not a cop-out answer, that's what I always say. Every time I get someone asking for new player advice, the 2 biggest things are, have fun, prioritize that over anything else. Like, if someone's telling you to play the game a way that you don't want to play the game, don't do that. That's silly. It's a video game. Enjoy it. That's the point. That's the whole point of video games. Ah! Anyway, have fun. That's the biggest one. And second, join the community. Get on the Discord. !Discord and chat will get you a link. Also, it's just discord.gg/idlechampions. That'll take you directly there. Join the Discord. Get in the community because you will find lots and lots of friendly folks. You will meet many, many new friends and people just like me who will be happy to answer your questions and help you out along your personal journey through the world of Idle Champions. Do that. I'll see you on the Discord. And a Lyrical Soul. Hi, Mars. Hi. For a new player, what's a good amount of favor to try and get this event? Currently hovering in the EO5 range, not getting much anymore in free play. Oh, you're fine. I mean, you're a totally new player. Okay. Don't worry so much about it. It's your first event. Have you at least... Not that one. Have you at least unlocked the 3 characters? Have you unlocked Jim? Have you unlocked Omen? Have you unlocked Prudence? If you have, great. Good. That's the biggest accomplishment. That's the most important thing to do in each event, especially as a new player. Just get the characters. It's the best way to unlock new characters. Just get your characters, and then any other content that you can clear, others saying yes, they've unlocked all characters of their first variant, that's great. Any further content that you can clear, that's a bonus for you. Good job. Totally okay for you to rest on those laurels and to focus on other things now. If you really want to focus on any one in particular, I would say focus on Jim, just because Jim is being retired after this year, so like when this event rolls around next year, it'll be Omen, Prudence, and someone else, and Jim won't be here anymore. You can still get Jim from Time Gates, but it'll be a little bit more difficult to get gear for him. Anyway, you're doing great, Lyrical Soul, at EO5 favored. Vincent Venom. Will the Founders Pack 3 also be on sale before it gets taken out of the store next week? Press X to doubt. Founders Packs never go on sale because they are always... Like, they are designed to be discounted more than, like, anything else, like, already. Like, it's supposed to be such a good deal that they can't justify ever putting it on sale, if that makes sense. I would be shocked if Founders Pack 3 goes on sale. But, hey, it might. I'm not the marketing guy. I'm just speaking on experience here. To 1 Archon. Is it normal that all the enemies get harder the longer you're in the game? I took potions, then the game loaded, and then the stage I could beat with lesser potions became unbeatable. No, that's not normal. That might have been a special rule of a variant that you were playing. Or, you may have had stacks, like stacking mechanics of your champions may have fallen off. You might have accidentally swapped one character with another, thus messing with their positions and losing out on overall damage. There's a number of reasons why a stage could have suddenly became more difficult, but it's not because it just naturally becomes more difficult. Yeah, as Surson says, your bud might have spiked down for some reason, making your potion not as effective. Exactly, yeah. That's what I mean by, like, maybe your stacks fell off, or you accidentally swapped some people around. That can cause your bud to go down, which would cause any fire breath potions you have, for example, to be a lot less effective. Josephson. Hey, I got a question about the game. Sweet. I like questions about the game. How do you play it? And what's the goal of the game? That's a fun question. Let's see if I can make this clip-worthy. Hi, I'm Mars. This is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. This is a free-to-play Dungeons & Dragons strategy management game from Codename Entertainment. It's officially licensed. The goal of this game is to push as far as possible in each adventure as you can in order to unlock further content to play. There are hundreds of adventures that you can embark on in Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, but you have to complete each one of them in order to unlock the next one to play. There's also lots of different variant rules that can come into play that may restrict your champion choices, or introduce other little mechanics into the adventure that makes things a little bit more interesting, a little bit more tactically tantalizing. And by playing through those, you're having fun. You're playing the game. You're also collecting characters as you go. We have Oh goodness, we have so many of them. We have over 80 characters, approaching 90. And by playing through the game, you can collect these famous characters from the lore of Forgotten Realms, from various live stream groups, from different podcasts. There's also original characters unique to this game that debuted in this game. There was even a tie-in recently with Magic the Gathering for Eliwick Tumblestrom. We even have Eliwick Tumblestrom from the Magic the Gathering Adventures in Forgotten Realms. There's all kinds of fun characters and interesting faces to meet in this game, and by collecting them and putting them into formation, you can learn how they work. You can also meet a wonderful community of other players as you play. We have an excellent, very healthy community, and they are just one Discord server click away from being accessible to you and making new friends. There you go. So, get champions. Get gear. I'll do that right now. The gear makes your champions more powerful, and you play through adventures with your champions. That's it. That's the game. In a nutshell. As simple as I can make it. Alright, what's next? Baby League, again. Question, but not really a question, more of a comment. Okay. If you check out Cyrus Dane's Click Debuff Guide, they have a section in for Kira stacking. Oh, nice! From the description of what you did, I noticed that you may have had already in not the most optimal spot. Okay, cool. Alright, so Cyrus Dane's Click Debuff. I'll write that down. Thank you, Baby League. Cyrus Dane's Click Debuff for Kira. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm open to, you know, suggestions on how to improve my stuff, because you're always learning something in this game. At the very least, every 3 weeks, a new champion comes out, and then you have to learn that champion. There's always something new to learn in this game. You never quit. And that's part of the huge appeal of this game for me. Like, I'm still going. There's still stuff to learn. You never reach the top of the mountain, because even once you've climbed the mountain, you notice there's a few more feet, and then a few more feet, and then a few more feet, and then a few more feet to climb. It's fun. The idle part's a lie. Well, at first, it is. I agree. I think that this game would ideally, I would like this game to just be called Champions of Forgotten Realms. Idle Champions of Forgotten Realms doesn't feel right to me. But you do eventually get to the point you're playing idly. Like this, I'm hands-off, I'm hands-free. This is now totally idle once you have Modron automation going. But for the longest time, yeah, we didn't even have that, so the idle part seemed a little off to me, personally. Tromb, question, is there a fast way to do Vajra challenge 1,000 areas without support? Ugh. Speed potions. Because, like, all of the speed champions are support champions, right? So if you want to do that fast, but you can't use support champions, speed potions. It's pretty much your only bet. Speed potions and fast Modron core. That's it. That's it, man. Does Lazap have any meta use? Possibly for one of Ashara's bonds? Maybe? That might work. She might have a spot in there for that, but otherwise, I don't really think so. I could be wrong, but yeah. Yeah, do goblins count for short folk? I was thinking that in my head, but I didn't want to say it and be mistaken about it. But yeah, if she counts as short folk, then yeah, short folk isn't a bad bond choice for Ashara specializations. That's what I had to run in that Zerial Gargos Betrayal that I just ran over the past few days and failed. But I learned things from it, so it wasn't a bad experience. It was a challenge. And if you've known me for any length of time, you'll know that I appreciate a good challenge. That's the whole reason I invented the idle trials back in the day. I love challenges. I love challenge modes, so yeah. I am thrilled to know that there is content in this game that, despite how long I've been playing, how powerful my characters are, I still can't beat it. That's comforting to me, to know that there's still another mountain to climb. I want that. I want more of that. Darth Dragoon 28. What happened to the first 27? When characters from event are unlocked, I can use them in all adventure types, or what? Yes and no. Okay, so you can use them in all adventure types so long as that champion is not restricted from it. Okay? As long as that champion isn't restricted from it. So, for example, you've unlocked Gem, Omen, and Prudence. Awesome! Good for you! Good job playing the Egg Herons Day event. And you want to use them. Okay. Well, if you are going to play a non-patron free play, any adventure you want, then you're fine. You can do that. But, maybe there are... Here we go. Here's one, for example. The Long Haul. Here's a variant that says only champions with 14 or more strength can be used. So if any of your champions have strength lower than 14, you would not be able to use them on this adventure variant. You can use it on the free play version of that adventure, but not on this one particular variant. And you just kind of get used to that. That's just part of how the game works. You have to think about what characters you can use in these challenging variants, and what characters that you have available. What characters do you need to be able to tackle these variants? And then maybe you can target those characters in your events and time gates to unlock them and use them. That's part of the strategizing of the game. But outside of patrons, and outside of variants that restrict champion choices, yes, you can use your unlocked champions in all adventures that you play. Empress Newt Newt, you're back. Question: as a new player, is it important to try and focus on getting feats for characters, or worry more so and just on progressing through runs? Worry more so on just progressing. You're far too new to worry about your feats collection. Any feats that you happen to pick up along the way, okay, cool. Don't make it a priority. Feats are more of a mid to late game focus. I am still in the process of finishing up collecting all of the feats in the game. I only have 2 left. I have 2 feats left, which are from the Zariel patron shop. The Epic Feat, Lucky Choices, and Epic Feat, Company of Kobolds. Yeah, this one's for Freely, this one's for Vinwin. I gotta get those 2, and then I'm done. I'm donezo with all currently available feats until the next event. With another character comes out, and then I have to get their feats. It's just another ongoing struggle, and I love it. And question 20, Grimjock. Question: I just got a Zaka today. Congratulations! Good job! Zaka is definitely a milestone. My Kellenborg favor is E17 already. Nice. Torment Helm are EO9 and EO7 respectively. Where should I invest this event's faction conversion since I'll be getting 150% favor boost? It honestly depends on what your next goal is. Is your next goal to, like, get another Evergreen champion? Because there's another one in Tomb of Annihilation, it's Dragonbait. You've unlocked 1 Evergreen champion in the Tomb of Annihilation campaign, yes, but what about 2nd Evergreen champion in Tomb of Annihilation campaign? Dragonbait, you get him right at the end of that campaign. You can get him. And there's also Olkoria in Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Of course, there's Dritz in Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, but given the favor that you just said that you have, your Torm is EO9, you probably already have Dritz anyway, so maybe that's already done. You have Dritz? Okay, cool, yeah, you just confirmed that. Olkoria is really good for certain formations, like for my Ashara DPS formation, whenever possible, I definitely use Olkoria. So maybe focus on Waterdeep Dragon Heist, your Helm's favor, as your next, like, start powering that up. Spend the next several days just, like, grinding up your Waterdeep Dragon Heist Helm's favor, and then blast your event favor conversion into that campaign. Okay, so I'm going to take a break off of questions, because we just did 20. very quickly. With my goal of 50, and we just did 20 in half an hour, that feels pretty darn good. And let's actually talk about Prudence. Because I tried to cover all of her information last week, but I had technical difficulties that prevented me from doing so. Let's start by opening up some chests for her. What are the odds I actually get a shiny? Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if I got an event shiny live on stream? Come on. Come on. I know you wanna give me what I need. I need a shiny. Shiny! I'll take Epic Book of Shadows on a very, very early pity pull. That's awesome. Like, we're far away from pity timer on that, so nice. That's a good one. More. More! More! I'm already all blue, so I'm only here for epics. Okay. Hey, I'll take the Glee, though. Nice. Alright, so. Prudence. Age 28. Female. Chaotic evil. Tiefling. Warlock of Cthulhu. Pure DPS. Pure DPS champion. Not a DPS support, not DPS tank, not DPS healing, not DPS gold. Pure DPS. I feel like we don't get a lot of those these days. So, interesting. It really... It's unfortunate because it really restricts her options for using her. But pure DPS champion, okay, all eyes on Prudence. She wants to get strong. She wants everyone to support her. She will take, and never give. Alright, so, she is evil. As long as she's not neutral, that means she's good for Mert. Great. 17 Constitution, that means she's good for Vajra, because it's got to be 14 or higher. Intelligence 15, it's got to be 13 or higher for Strahd, so good for that. And also, Strength and Charisma are high as well, so good for Zariel. That's 4 for 4. All 4 patrons. Mert, Vajra, Strahd, and Zariel. You can use Prudence as your DPS. Whether that's going to be a really good thing or not, we'll see. But I think Sai's report, I think Silisa's report on Prudence came out to be like, she's okay. She's not great, she's not bad, she's just okay. And honestly, that's okay. That's fine. As long as it's better than bad, right? Alright, so her base attack is Eldritch Blast because, of course, she's a warlock. Always be blasting if you're a warlock. I mean, just play Baldur's Gate 3 and you'll play a warlock and you'll immediately realize, like, oh, I should be Eldritch Blasting every turn, shouldn't I? Yeah. It's okay to be okay. It's fine. Crackling green energy shoots toward an enemy, dealing damage. Very simple. Her ultimate is Hunger of Hadar, opening a gateway to the dark between the stars, damaging and pulling enemies to it, which looks very cool. It's just that. Had it right there. It's the exact same animation as Warden's ultimate, interestingly enough. Same thing. And her base attack has the same visual effect as Makris's base attack. Anyway, the least ethical of the Oxventure crew, Prudence, is a grumpy, power-hungry tiefling warlock. Cthulhu is Prudence's chosen warlock patron and stand-in father figure. Wouldn't recommend that. Wouldn't recommend Cthulhu as a father figure. She does the great old one proud by waking up and choosing violence every single day. When she's not doing murders, Prudence enjoys a good book. Not a good book, an evil book. She has 2 in particular with her at all times, in the monstrous forms of her beloved bitey book babies, Frisky and the Darkness. This one's definitely the Darkness. I don't know about Frisky. Prudence delights in anything creepy, gory, and or openly evil, but has a soft spot for her fellow Oxventurers, who are the only folks this former hermit has any patience for. Either that, or she simply hasn't found space in her busy murdering schedule to murder them yet. So she's the first member of the Oxventure crew. So we know that other Oxventure characters are coming. But when? Well, we know at least one of them. Well, let's learn about how Prudence actually works. I see some of you asking in chat to explain how to explain Glee and other things like that about Prudence, so we're going to do that right now. Glee. Her starting mechanic. Prudence gains 1 stack of Glee each time she kills an enemy. You know what kills enemies? DPS characters. So, all the more reason to set her up as your DPS character. For each stack of Glee, her damage is increased by 10%, stacking additively. Glee has a 25% chance to lose 1 stack whenever a champion other than Prudence gets a kill. So not only does Glee reward you for setting up Prudence as your DPS, Glee also punishes you for setting up anyone else as your DPS. You're going to constantly get characters stealing kills from Prudence until you get closer to your wall. Once you're past a certain point, the only character that's going to get any kills is going to be your DPS. And so this is a self-solving problem. Okay? She will eventually be the only one getting kills if you set her up as your DPS, and then you don't have to worry about other champions getting kills and thus reducing her stacks. It simply just won't happen anymore. Next up, Delight, increasing the damage bonus of Prudence's Glee ability by 100% for each good aligned champion in the formation, stacking additively and then applying multiplicatively. So, Prudence wants you to have good aligned champions in the formation to make her Glee ability more powerful. It's like she finds delight in doing horrible, violent, evil acts in plain view of good aligned folks nearby. So if good aligned folks are witness to her terrible, debased acts of cruelty, then she is delighted by this, and it makes her even more gleeful. Just think about it like that, I guess. Kind of disturbing, but it works. I guess that's what she wants out of me, to disturb me. Resolve increases the maximum stacks of Prudence's Glee by 10 for each non-good champion in the formation, additively. So, non-good, that's going to be not just evil, but neutral as well, okay? So, ultimately, every champion in the formation is going to be helpful to Prudence. Good champions make her Glee stronger. Non-good champions make her Glee stronger as well by allowing her to have more stacks of Glee. So you kind of have to find a balance. You want to have enough good champions to empower Glee to make it stronger, but you also want non-good champions to give you higher stack levels. Exactly like what the optimal cutoff point is, I don't know. Because you also really do have to take into account what kind of buffs you're getting from the champions that you're fielding. If she's set up as your DPS, everyone should be supporting her. Everyone should be giving her some kind of power-up, some kind of buff, to justify having them on the field. But then you need to also look at their alignment to see whether they're increasing the power of her Glee via Delight, or if they're increasing the maximum stacks of her Glee via Resolve. Now, something that people asked last week is, how do you check the maximum stacks? It's over here on the outgoing effects, on the formation buffs. So it doesn't show up here on the Upgrades tab, but on the third tab of her character sheet, Formation Buffs, under Outgoing Effects, you'll see Glee. Glee stacks 0, maximum 30 currently. And if I put in another non-good champion, like, let's put in Grama in place of Celeste. Okay. Now we'll see maximum 40, because Grama is neutral aligned. She's non-good. So Resolve activates and increases Prudence's maximum stacks of Glee. She's that simple. She's not difficult. Frustration at level 400. Every time Prudence attacks an enemy but does not kill it, which is only going to happen at your wall, or against armor bosses for, you know, just, I guess, that fight, she gains a stack of Frustration. Frustration stacks increase her damage by 200%, stacking multiplicatively. The maximum number of frustration stacks is equal to the number of champions adjacent to Prudence. Frustration stacks are reduced by 1 each time Prudence gets a kill. So, the more champions you have surrounding Prudence, the stronger her frustration will be. Because it's like, she has a lot of people just in her way, I guess, or a lot of people watching her. So, it makes her more frustrated to fail to kill things because she knows she has an audience. Or there's just people in her way. So the ideal situation to have Prudence in is you want her in a spot in the formation where she has as many people around her as possible. In this spot right here, let me turn off auto progress for a second. In this spot right here in the formation, we can see that she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adjacent champions. That's your target. If you can't get 6, get as many as you can. In this position, she has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this position, she has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to get as many as you can, while also trying to get all of the support champions on the field in your formation to be correctly pointing their buffs at Prudence. It's going to take some finagling to get all this to work as best as possible, but she really is a simple champion by design compared to other champions out there. Trust me, if you're a newer player, just trust me. She's simpler than several others. But yeah, that's it. Prudence in a nutshell. Pretty simple. Your specialization choice is she either attacks more often or she does her ultimate more often. I would say go for attacking more often, generally. Here, I'll use the potion of specialization to bring that up. It's either going to be Eldritch Torrent, granting her a chance for multiple attacks, so she just has a 50% chance that her base attack cooldown will be immediately reset. That's going to increase her DPS. She's DPS, so she wants that. Or makes her ultimate cooldown have a chance to instantly reset. Maybe you just need her to ultimate more often for some reason. Okay, so get that one. But generally speaking, you're probably just going to go get the Eldritch Torrent on the left side, like 95% of the time. Whew! Oh, and let's take a look at her feats. So, her starting feats are Tavern Brawler, which is her own DPS 30% up, and Reflexive Strike, increasing the effect of her Glee mechanic, which we already talked about, by 20%. Those are her starting feats. For upgrades, you can get Grappler, a 60% self-damage increase. Habitual Strike, increasing the effect of Glee by 40%. Read the Room, increasing the effect of Delight by 40%. And Delight is the one that's when you have good champions in the formation that makes her Glee more powerful. So if you have a lot of good champions in the formation, use Read the Room, because that's going to be ideal there. And Huffy, increase the effect of Prudence's frustration ability by 40%. That's going to be a good one as long as you have, you know, a lot of folks surrounding Prudence. Maybe you don't have a lot of characters around Prudence. It's just a formation that doesn't really allow for that. Okay, well that's going to make Huffy not as important, not as valuable. And there we go. That's Prudence. Let's get some more questions in here. Django Fox, greetings! Greetings! I'm still fairly new in this game, and unlocked today for the first time a feat on a character. Nice, good job. My question, do feats stay permanent over the adventures, or do I have to unlock them again after starting a new adventure? They're permanent. That's a permanent upgrade, buddy. Congratulations. Feats are good stuff. Empress Newt Newt. Are potions only able to be received during runs from chests, or are you able to use gems to get them before starting a run? Okay, so you can only access your inventory and the shop while you're on an adventure. You can't use potions outside of an adventure. 99% of the time, you're going to be on an adventure. It's going to be rare that you're just hanging out on the map screen for no reason. This is rare that you're going to just be hanging out here. 99% of the time, Empress, you're going to be in an adventure. Now, can you only receive them during runs from chests? Yeah, you're going to want to open up chests in order to get potions. Here, I'll open up 50 sulfurs. Huh, nice, 6 blue. Here's a whole bunch of potions. Yep, that's generally how you get potions. Open up chests. It's that simple. Okay. And no, you can't use gems to get them before starting a run. Das Birkin. Is Mage Hand worth it over 5 silver chests? Yes! That's just gonna be a firm yes from me, dog. Hey, TTRPG Gifts! Hi! Hey, Robo, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. I've got so many friends popping in here today. I've seen Gar, Lauren, Trevor, now Robo's here. This is great. Flanagan, what's your favorite character? How are they played? And for how is played and for their lore. Oh, okay. Yes, hello Loki. I see you. I have a lot of favorites. Okay, I will do this because I do get asked periodically, who's your favorite character, and there's almost 90 characters. That's a lot. It's going to be almost impossible for me to pick just one. Although, oh my god, C&E, when we get to Champion 100, can we do like a popularity contest or something? Can there be like a in-game survey to vote on? And everyone like picks a character? It could be like tournament brackets to get down to like the #1 most loved character. Woo! Already have one? No, we don't. We don't, because the one in the time gate list is only going to show you event champions. It's not going to show you any evergreen champions. And that's that's like 16 characters that we can't do in that particular list. Anyway, I'm just going to go through slot by slot. Alright, favorite champions in each slot. For their lore and for how they're played. Okay. For lore, in slot 1, Esmeralda. For how they're played in slot 1, Orkira! Slot 2. For lore, honestly, Korth. I love Danger Lizard. His name means danger, and he's a samurai. He's a lizard samurai man named Danger, and I love that. It's amazing. And for how they work, Talon. I think Talon is super cool in his design. Slot 3. For lore... Ooh. I want to say Omen. Yeah, I think Omen, as far as lore goes, is the most tantalizing. But it's hard. It's really between Omen and Artemis. For game mechanics, Gromma. Definitely. Slot 4. For lore, I'm gonna say... Jarlaxle. Jarlaxle has a rich history in the Forgotten Realms. All sorts of shenanigans. And for how they actually play... Honestly, still Jarlaxle. I think Jarlaxle just wins in slot 4. Yeah, between always stabbing whoever's in the furthest back, chaining attacks if he keeps getting kills, and just the incredible amount of gold find that you get from him. Jarlaxle's got some interesting things going on. Slot 5, for lore, I choose... Kilek. For game mechanics, I choose... Briv. Slot 6, for lore, I choose... Ooh... This one's harder. I'm gonna say Ashara, but that's because of a personal soft spot that I have for Ashara, because I ran a group through the Tomb Annihilation campaign, and I did have Ashara show up in that story. So I pick Ashara for lore, but that's just because, you know, like, personal, like, I ran that campaign stuff. And for actual game mechanics... that one's tougher. I think it's still Ashara. I think Ashara, but I feel more strongly about that one than I do for the lore question for slot 6. Yeah. I like that Ashara has multiple specialization choices. That gives you a lot more customizability over how she actually works in your particular adventure that you're on. You can set her up as DPS, you can set her up as support. Yeah, she has, like, machine gun magic missiles. It's amazing. It feels very good when you're playing Ashara DPS. Just spam those magic missiles. It's great. Oh, I ran out of tokens, so I need to open up some chests. Alright, that didn't work out, so let's do that. And let's just pay for a few more. A few more runs to keep us going for the stream here. There we go. That'll keep us going for a bit more. Alright. And I'm going to save the second set of favorites for later on, because that's taken a while. We did the first half. I stopped at slot 6, so I'll pick up on slot 7 later. Fun question, though, Flanagan. Modesto! When do you start getting cores? So you need to have at least 2 characters in every slot, and then I think you need to beat, like, stage 100 for the first time, something like that. And then at that point, you should be able to have a, like, you have a little icon over here, adventuring parties you can click on, and from here, you'll see the option to play, like, unlock a new party to play Split the Party. Is it just stage 50? Because for me, like, I've definitely cleared all of that before Modron ever came out. So, it was simply available for me immediately. But you really don't have to go very far in the game to get access to it. You do need to have 2 characters in every spot, in every bench slot. Yeah, and you're gonna lose characters, not permanently, but, like, for that adventure, you're gonna lose characters while you're on that adventure. It's rough. Gar has done some streamed and recorded plays of Split the Party. So, like, if you, like, get on YouTube and search, like, Garwar Split the Party, you're gonna find some videos from Gar where he, like, walks you through, like, how to do it, like, what you're gonna be faced with. Yeah, this week even. Yeah, he just did a new one. I noticed that. That's why I thought of it, Gar. That's why I thought to mention it. I love that you keep putting that stuff out. Keep it coming. I'm sure it's very helpful for folks. And, by the way, just on a personal note, Gar, thanks for the raid on my channel yesterday. I really appreciate it. It made me smile. Nick Kyon, question. Why just go to 50 for farming? Thought you get a chest at 100, or is this different in events? Yeah, it's different in events. So, when you're doing time gates, yes, you will get a silver chest for the first time you clear stage 100, 200, 300, etc. in that particular time gate. Events don't work like that. They just don't. It's a different mechanic. It's a different game mode. Think of it like that. So, different prizes. You get your gold chest at stage 50, reset. Gold chest at stage 50, reset. Gold stage at stage 50, reset. Gold chest at stage 50, reset. Gold chest at stage 50, reset. It's over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Now, if I wanted to turn one of these into a favor farming run, then I would definitely go past 50, because I'd be wanting to go as far as I possibly can. I want to go to, like, 900 plus, 1,000 plus. But if I'm just here to get the chests for Prudence, only have to beat 50. And then I'm good. I'm golden. Ugh. Although I'm definitely not purple. Give me the purples, come on. I need it. Alright. 27. What 3 tanks would you recommend for a shower formations? I assume you mean like for Baldur's Gate Descent to Avernus. Okay, so the biggest one, the most important one, is probably going to be Briv, because Half-Bloods. But then, like, other tanks that you could use, I was using Gromma. I think Gromma also counts for Potpourri anyway. And then, oh gosh, who else is I? Oh yeah, I had a Tyrell in bear form, wild shape form. So those are the 3 tanks that I was using personally. It was Gromma, Tyrell, and Briv for Ashara DPS in a 3-tank formation. Your results may vary, but those are pretty good tanks for me. More than pretty good. Phenomenal, I'd say. Gromma was the first to die anytime the formation was getting overwhelmed, but having multiple healers in the formation, or Kira, Donar, definitely helped. Alright, next. Zegapakotino. Which hero should I focus on for this event? It depends on your priority. The new hotness is Prudence, and she's okay, she's definitely not bad. Jim is the oldest champion, and so he'll be retired after this year. You'll still be able to unlock Jim and to get gear for him via time gates, but not from the Agaron's Day event in future years. So if you just want to, like, collect it all, like try to get all of the gear that you can for all of the characters, maybe focus on Jim if that's important to you, because it's going to be harder moving forward if you don't do that. I would say out of the 3, Omen is probably the overall winner in terms of just usefulness. Like, if playing optimally matters for you, I'd say Omen's the most important out of the 3. If I was going to focus on just one character for getting gear, it would be Omen. But I am bound by my personal rule that I always focus whoever's the new person. New person is always the one I focus on, every time. Even if I don't like them. And I do like Prudence. I wish she wasn't so murdery? That'd be nice. That is good tea. Oh, I also have a glass of rose milk on ice. It's a little drippy. I've just noticed. Condensation. Oh, science. Empress Newt Newt, how many champion slots are there in total? There are 12 total champion slots. So, starting with Brunor in slot 1 and going all the way out to Archon in slot 12. There are 12 total champion slots. And there's at least, like, 5 swaps. Maybe even at least 6 now in every slot. It's a lot. And it's only going to grow more. Okay, at least 5 because slot 2. There you go. And we're only growing. Every 3 weeks there's a new character to work on. Every 3 weeks. Because we have 17 events a year. You don't know what rose milk is? Oh, it's just milk with rose syrup added. You know how you can make chocolate milk by putting chocolate syrup in milk? Rose milk is putting rose syrup in milk. That's it. It's delicious. Oh, God. If I had to pick one favorite flavor out of all possible flavors that exist, it's rose. It is absolutely rose. How works the thing of Glee? We discussed that earlier, but essentially, Glee gets stronger when Prudence gets kills. Glee gets weaker when Prudence doesn't get kills. Put good champions in the formation to make Glee stronger. Put non-good champions in the formation to make Glee bigger. The end. That is a very simplified version of explaining the Glee mechanic. But I hope that sums it up well enough for you. Oi, Vito, is it possible to have a starter comp with Prudence DPS? That might be more difficult. I mean, let's think. Brunor works, Celeste works, Naeli works. Jarlaxle's not going to do any favors. Calliope works. Shara would work. Minsk works well enough. Depending on what, like if you're fighting favorite enemies, that's really going to help a lot. Delena definitely doesn't, but Hitch will, because Prudence does have a high charisma, so Hitch's natural performer will apply to her. Makos will help, Tira will help, Jamila won't, and Archon won't. So, I would, if you have only the core characters available to you, yeah, you could make a Prudence DPS formation using just core. I would avoid using Jarlaxle, Jamila, and Archon. Everyone else you could work with. That would work for a Prudence formation, yeah. NMVH. Is it just EGS that doesn't actually display your current Glee stacks and only total bonus? Is it? I don't have Prudence in my Epic Game Store account, so I can't check that. But can anyone confirm if the Epic Game Store platform doesn't show your current Glee stacks for Prudence? Can anyone else confirm or to that? I would like to know if that's the case. That's news to me. Peroto86, can you explain Kroll? About how to use him as a support? Oh, Kenshin says that they're on EGS and it does show Glee stacks. Sato says that theirs doesn't on Epic. Ensign Garrick says that Glee stacks do show on EGS. Snobagru says that EGS shows stacks for them. Vario Asp also says that it does. Okay. You might want to check your settings. You might want to check if you have... Oh, where is it? Effect description, basic, or advanced. Make sure that advanced is checked. That might make the difference for you. And then check again. Let us know if that works for you in MVH. Okay, so Peroto, can I explain Kroll? Got it figured out? Awesome! Nice, good job. Kroll. Angry Turtle Man. I need to take him out of this silly costume. Wow, he already has that many skins? Wow. Did not expect that. Kroll spreads a virus. Maybe not the best time in the world for this sort of character, but Kroll predates, you know, what happened in the world. Anyway, Kroll spreads a draconic plague, and it works exceptionally well. He kind of got a little defanged, declawed not terribly long ago, but for the longest time, putting Kroll in your formation was like adding an instant plus 70 stages to your adventure. He's all about just putting him out there, letting his plague stacks stack up, and eventually they will just pop off. He's really not difficult to use. You can basically just put him in there and then forget about him. It's not really a lot of work to use Kroll. One of the biggest obstacles that you'll have with using Kroll is if you're on a boss stage and a Kroll Plague Bomb goes off and kills everything but one enemy. And now you just have like one straggler that you can't kill. That's when you put in good old Jim. You put Jim in your formation, and he has a chance of turning things into a chicken that has 1 hit point, which will then instantly die to literally anything. I think Xander is the only character that can't kill a Jim chicken. That has the possibility of not killing a Jim chicken, because Xander can miss with his attacks. Speaking of Xander, I have been having a blast back on Monday. So I've started streaming Idle Champions on my own channel on Monday, and I had this wild idea. My partner Lyra helped me to realize that a really good follow-up to Idle Champions on Mondays would be playing Baldur's Gate 3. So I started a new playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, and I thought, well, how could I make this tied in a little bit more to Idle Champions? What if I played an Idle Champion? Because you can make your own character. What if I played a character designed as one of the Idle Champions? So I figured out with what races and classes are available in Baldur's Gate 3, what character could I faithfully recreate? What character could I faithfully adapt, even as far as looks go, in Baldur's Gate 3? And the answer to that is my best friend Xander. So I'm playing The Legend of Xander in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm playing Xander's Gate 3, and it's been a blast. Because every time he misses with an attack, or fails some sort of roll, it's like, well, yeah, he's Xander, so that's just in character. Oh, boy. It's been fun, and I'm looking forward to doing more of that. Okay. Biorum J, any tips on how and in which adventure to do the Army of Timora success for Omen? Oh, man, I'm gonna have to remind myself how that one even works. Army of Timora, okay. Maintain Champion of Timora in all champions information for at least 30 seconds. My immediate thought is, I mean, obviously I've already done this, but it would have been like a year ago that I did this, so I don't remember how exactly I did it, because I don't have a great memory. But my immediate thought is, do you have to field a full formation? Could you cheat a little bit by only having champions surrounding Omen and then no one else? Because that should make it easier. You have to field a full formation? Yeah, that would be super cheesy. Okay, well, in that case, at least do it in Torm, because then you have one less formation slot to worry about. Torm being the only 9-person formation, whereas everything else is 10 people. I would at least do it in Sword Coast, Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, Torm formations. Put him in the middle, and just watch it spread. Hope for good RNG, hope for good luck. That's my advice. Balkan25, what is gilding equipment and how's it done? Okay, so gilding is a term that we use... Oh yeah, and use fast attackers. That's a really good point. Yeah, definitely use fast attackers in there too, so it can spread more quickly. And use his ultimate. Gilding, gilded, guild, that's a term that we use to refer to when a champion's gear is shiny. Like, all of these are shiny because they have a silver border, and they say shiny right at the top. It says shiny level 159 right above the title of this gear on this card. Or also when something is golden, which is even better than shiny. Okay? And that's all it is. When something is gilded, that's just the catch-all term for it is either shiny or golden. It's just faster to say than all of my stuff is shiny or golden. You can just say all of my stuff is gilded. It's just faster. Just a term that we use. How is it done is a more interesting question. So, shiny equipment can come from Potions of Polish, which is a very rare type of potion that you cannot get from chests. You get them from special events or from purchases that you make in the shop. You can also sometimes get shinies from purchases that you make directly, not as Potions of Polish, but as other things. Like, if I get this wild offer right now, it would come with 8 gold Donar chests and 1 shiny. There'd be 1 shiny card. Guaranteed to receive 1 shiny. It says it right there. You also have a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting a shiny piece of gear from any chest that you open that contains gear. Oh, okay. Just like this. I love doing this show. I love doing this show so much. Moments like that are priceless. Streamer luck. You saw it right here. Let me just pull a quick shiny full Korea. Thanks, Sean. That's amazing. Golden equipment is harder to come by. Generally, you can only get, like 95% of the time, you're only going to get golden equipment from purchases that you make. Like if I get this wild offer, I will get a golden equipment card for Donar for his slot 2 equipment, Percival, the golden toothbrush. But sometimes there's like these seasonal celebrations that happen, and sometimes there's a golden epic involved, or there's a potion of polish involved. Just, you know, get all kinds of little stuff, like little things that help you out over time. You can get various gilded items over time. Just look out for promotions, look out for giveaways, look out for any wild offers that are within your budget, that are important to you and within your budget. Don't feel pressure to like get them all. I'm not going to be that guy to tell you to do that. I definitely don't get them all. I pick up a wild offer if it's something that I really want and it's within my budget. You do you. Orlin X YT. Best free play to farm. Mad Wizard! You're going to want to go to your map. You're going to want to go to Grand Tour of the Sword Coast. You're going to go to this camp right here in the Neverwinter Wood. Click on this. You want the Mad Wizard. This is the best free play to farm if you're trying to just get gems and chests. Let's go buy a lottery ticket, oh my god. The thing is, I did, like back in, like June or something, like late May, early June, I did get a lottery ticket. I got nothing. I got nothing. My hashtag Mars luck, or hashtag streamer luck, whatever you want to call it, only applies to things that don't matter. It only applies to, like, games and hobbies. Things that make me happy, but don't actually make me wealthy. Yeah. Yeah. Just for you. Doesn't apply to real world stuff, I guess. But yeah, in the Mad Wizard, there's the most number of fast spawning stages for enemy spawning, because the faster enemies are spawning, the faster you can kill them. And the faster you're killing enemies, the faster you're progressing through adventures. The faster you're progressing through adventures, the faster you are accruing both gems and silver and gold chests, so that you're getting stuff. So that's the best place to farm. You want to go to Mad Wizard, set up a speed team, have a good time. I can't tell you how many millions of times I killed that stupid wizard. I feel so bad for him. Nice. I don't really care about this one, but it's very pretty. I may have collected some from my victims. It's a mystery. Alright. You're cool, Prudence. I want you to stay far away from me, but you're cool. Nice, we have enough to pay for another run. Alright. Next question, please. We got 40 minutes left. I'm going to try to get to my 50 total questions if I can. Where am I at? It's so easy for me to lose my spot. Mad Wet Squirrel. I'm almost able to unlock adventuring parties. Nice. I need a second character for slot 2 and 4, Celestial Axel. Who would you recommend for a newbie player for those spots? Oh, I love these questions. Okay, so slot 2. Oh, if you don't have Donar yet, get Donar. He's fantastic. He's so easy to work with. Don't use his ultimate, it's disgusting. But, yeah, put Donar in your formation. He's fun. He's great. Oh, and I'm trying to slowly take all of the skins off of my characters so it's not as confusing for people when I use champions. I used to have people say, like, who is that person? I don't know that person. That's because I was using skins all the time. So I need to take skins off of folks. Slot 4, if you're looking for an option. Okay. So, Mad Wet Squirrel, if you want to focus on speed, absolutely get Sentry in slot 4. If you want to focus on raw power, absolutely get Baloth in slot 4. That's what it boils down to. For slot 2, get Donar. For slot 4, get either Sentry or Baloth, depending on if you want speed or power. Okay? Have fun. Good luck. Let us know how it goes in the Discord. Or next week on my next show. Django Fox, another question. If the Agarin's Day event ends, do the favors I got for collecting gold stay and continue on in the next event, or do they vanish if I don't exchange them for other adventure favors? So I assume you mean your event tokens, the loot strings that you've been collecting in order to play the various adventures of this particular event. They gone. Okay, they do not carry over, not to the next event, and not to the next year of the same event. Like Agarin's Day year 5 next year, this time around. You're not going to have any of your leftover loot strings. You're going to start all over again every time. Okay? So, use them or lose them. Don't lose them. Use them. And if you mean your favor, as in, like, your favor used for blessings and all that, I have a 6.92 E18 Azus favor. This is not going to carry over to the next event. It's not going to carry over into the same event next year. This will also be gone. You'll be forced to convert it to a permanent campaign 1 week after the event ends. So not this coming Monday, but next Monday. You'll be forced to convert. You can convert manually before then, after the event ends, if you choose. Like during that week, you can just do conversion manually if you choose, but you'll be forced to after a week. So, you will lose your favor one way or another, and all of your event tokens as well. So don't waste it. Darakus! Should I blow my bounty contracts? That is always subjective. You should blow your bounty contracts only while an event is active, and only if the champions in that event matter to you. Maybe you're a die-hard fan of the Ox Venturers, and you really love Prudence. She does so many murders. And maybe for some reason, that's appealing to you. I'm not asking questions. You stay far away from me, okay? But if that's the case, like if you like the champion, if you're a big fan of murders, if you like the champion, yeah, spend your bounty contracts, blow them on this event, and then get gear for Prudence, or Omen, or Jim. If you don't really personally care for those characters, then yeah, just hold on to them. Maybe next event, you'll get a character that really stands out to you, like calls to you. Crimson Fangs, how do you reset? Do you simply start over again? Yes! Oh, no problem, Snob. See you next time. You simply start over again. When you click on this button for a complete adventure, you go bloop, and it takes you out of this adventure. It takes you back to the map screen. At this point, you have successfully reset. And now, you choose your next adventure to go on. That's what we mean by resetting. We mean ending your current adventure and starting your next one. That's what we mean when we say reset. When you reset, yeah, you start from square one again. You have to unlock the characters, level them up, arrange them in your formation and all that jazz. But it will be easier because you will have gained favor in that campaign. And favor makes you have more gold find so that you collect higher levels of gold more quickly so you can level up your champions and actually do stuff with them more easily. We're like 75% of the way through the stream today, and y'all, everything's been totally stable. I'm seeing all green over here, no drop frames. I was so worried about this. My stomach was in knots. I was so worried about this. I'm so glad. This is such a relief for me that today actually worked out well. Oh, such a relief. Yesterday, last week was so stressful. Thank you all for, you know, bearing with it as much as you did. And coming back this week for more. Thank you, sincerely. Can a purple silver shiny be upgraded to purple gold shiny? If so, how? Yes! If you... Let's say you purchase a wild offer that is offering a golden epic for something. So, here we go. This is a great example. This is a purple silver shiny, right? Slot 2 on my Donar. It's Percival. It's an epic item, and it's shiny. If I purchased this wild offer, I'm tempted to do so just to show what happens. Am I going to spend $10 just to answer someone's question? Yes. I'm doing this for you. I'm not going to make a habit of this. Give me just a second here. Alright, this is dedication. So, I have purchased my Donar wild offer. I don't think I've ever purchased a wild offer live on stream before. Behold, my silver slot 2 Percival shiny for Donar has been upgraded to a golden epic. And, in return, I have received a potion of polish because of this upgrade. So, in my Donar's inventory, I will now see that this is a golden epic instead of a shiny. It also went up by 24 levels, so that's great. And now, in my inventory, I have a potion of polish. This is a special potion that will turn one random piece of equipment into its shiny version. See what happens. Okay, hey, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take having Freely's ultimate available more often. Heck yeah. Alright, sweet. Nice. I'm not going to complain about that one. So that's what happens. I really hope that helps, because that just cost me $10. Oh, we may as well open up the Donar pack. Alright. Silver toothbrush. Cool. Is he fully gilded? Nope. I still need slot 6 on Donar to be fully gilded out. There we go. Yes. You're welcome, Kinreviv. You're welcome. What do I gotta do to prove to this community that I love you all? Alright, Timebo. I've just started this game a few days ago. Hey, nice! Cheers! Welcome to Idle Champions. Good to have you, Timebo. Do I do orange missions, or do I stick with green missions? Just stick with green. Just stick with the green ones, the ones that just say, like, easy. I guess I can't really show any... Oh, I guess I could, actually. Yeah, here we go. There's, like, one I have left. So how this says difficulty easy, like, just stick with the ones that say easy for now, okay? Yeah, since you're new, I would not even attempt anything that's listed as, like, difficult or deadly right now. Once you're further into the game, you can more strategically make choices like, yeah, this says deadly, but whatever, it's fine. Like, I do that all the time. But when you're newer, don't do that. Just stick to the easy ones. Honestly, the difficulty system is kind of poorly done. It needs some love. Oh, Mad Wet Squirrel, my Twitch channel is Storyteller Mars. It's the same as my, well, I guess that's not showing up anywhere on the screen right here on the overlay. Anyway, it's Storyteller Mars, all one word. Actually trying to make a partner, so I appreciate your interest. Vincent Venom. What is Omen's main thing you want to use him for? Is it the gold find or the damage buff? It's both! It's actually both. That's why he's so good. He's not like god tier in either, right? But he's strong in both damage increasing with his buffing and in gold find increasing. He's both. That's what makes him so good. You want to use him for both, Vincent. Reed Bowman. Question is, are gems the only way to get third Modron core? Yeah. It's a grind. It's a big grind. Get speed champions. Go to Mad Wizard. And just start farming. Severin, Mars, can you teach us how to Jimothy? Again, I'm not really sure what specifically is mentioned by Jimothy. If someone in the chat could explain, like, is Jimothy just the Kroll Jim combo of making Kroll kill everything but one and then Jim kills the last thing by making it a chicken? Is that Jimothy? Or is Jimothy, like, his role that he plays in the click debuff strategy? Oh, Jimothy is Briv, Jim, Human, and Havilar, skipping everything to 1500 plus. Alright. I'm gonna be straight and honest with you all. I don't know what the heck that is. That's a new one for me. I keep seeing Jimothy bandied about. Like, I see it referenced. But I didn't know that that was it. That's a new one for me. So I guess that's using... Alright, let me think about this. That would be like using... Okay, Briv skips stages. Human has speed mechanics. Havilar makes speed mechanics. So I guess you turn something into a chicken, and it's an abyssal chicken, so it's a fiend, so it counts for Havilar. And then by doing that, you can... If you have it set up correctly, then you can just quickly fulfill any kill quest or drop quests for adventures that you're on, and then that would trigger Briv skipping the next several stages if you have him really beefed up on his slot 4. You're watching me trying to puzzle out in my own brain how this strategy works. I've literally never thought about it before. Am I close? Those of you who actually know how this works, am I at least close? Not just quickly in one single kill? Oh, good God. You have to put thousands of item levels into multiple characters to make that work? Holy moly! That's a lot! That's a lot! That's a lot! Lot! There's no way. No way I can do that. Let me just throw some blacksmith contracts around. My current goal is to get all of my champions to average item level 100. So every time I get blacksmithing contracts, that's what I'm doing with it. I just give it to the first person I spot that's under 100. Yeah, it sounds like that's a scripter's strategy, or a whale's strategy, or both together. Just people who are heavily invested for using scripting for automation. I don't think I could ever pull that off myself, but thank you, everyone in chat, Garwar and others, for helping to explain the Jimothy strategy. Chainstar, is Wolfgar any good? See, he's getting retired soon, and was just wondering. He's fine. He's not great. He's not bad. He's just nice. Trying to reference Into the Woods for anyone who's heard that or seen that. He's fine. I wouldn't make him a huge priority, honestly. Tofu Sofa, does the speed up come from the Modron core? Yeah, so there are speed champions. There are champions that make the game go faster through a variety of means. Then there are speed potions that make the game go faster as well. And then there's also the speed Modron core, the fast core, which has multiple effects on it that make things go faster. Quest drop bonus increase, monster spawn speed, game speed, level cost down, gold find up, so that you can level people faster to get their own speed mechanics working for you faster. Yeah. So, how you go faster, you just combine as many of those as you can until you are just blazing through content. Is the music a bit louder than usual? Is it? It's the same volume that it was last week. So you tell me. Is it any different? I have not changed any settings for audio. Okay, and 49, Crimson Fangs. How do you look at stats through Epic? How do you look at stats through Epic? What stats do you mean, Crimson Fangs? Do you mean your character's statistics? All you need to do is click on their character sheet to pull up that information. And you can see everything that they've got going on. Do you mean achievements? You can press A on your keyboard. That's a quick way to get your achievements to come up. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what you mean by stats. Patrons, that's the letter P on the keyboard. You can look at your patron stats that way. Oh, look, I'm actually starting to make a dent in Zariel. That's what I've been doing on my Monday show. I've been trying to play through Zariel patron variants. Some of them are really tough! Whew. Vincent Venom, so are the equips gilded or the champions? Just so I use the word correctly. It's interchangeable. I guess if you want to get, like, technical about it, I would say the equipment is gilded until I have a champion fully gilded. Like, my Gromma here, for example, has, like, full shiny. So at this point, I would say that my Gromma is gilded. Because I don't have to say specifically what gear on her. It's all of it. So I can just say, I have a gilded Gromma for short. How do you get the blue click damage? Oh, this is the Snowball skin for click damage. Snowball. I don't remember how I got that one. Was it a Twitch drop? Or was it during one of the seasonal celebrations that we have? An old promo? Yeah. I think it was one of our seasonal celebrations. And that takes us up through my goal of 50 questions. Nice! We can coast for the rest of this one. I mean, I'll still answer some questions, but I've at least achieved my goal that I always aim for. It would make sense that if it's an Icewind Dale promo, because it's a snowball, and that one's all, like, wintry. I wouldn't say a winter wonderland, though. Say a winter nightmare land would be more appropriate. Well, wondrous things can be bad. I was a fan of the Tannis podcast for a while, and I learned that lesson. Wonderful things doesn't necessarily mean good things. Anyway, let's see. What was I gonna do? So there was something... My favorites for slot 7 out to 12. Here we go. So, let's see. For game mechanics, Freely. For lore, Frida. Frida is my winner for favorite lore character in slot 7. Big shout out to Aaron Evans. I'll be honest, I still haven't read the books. But I love everything about Frida's character design. Like, her looks, like the outfit is just so cool. The heterochromia. Her bio here, like the fact that she grew up being raised by like a dragonborn. She's got a twin sister, Havilar, and she casts my favorite spell, Scorching Ray, as her base stat. Scorching Ray was the first spell that I ever cast in Dungeons & Dragons. At the age of 10, I had a sorcerer named Raynix, R-A-Y-N-X. His first spell he ever cast was Scorching Ray. The fact that she is a warlock, so she has, like, dark powers, ooh, but she uses them for good. She fights the good fight. I love that. I love everything about Frida. She's so cool. So she's my favorite lore character for slot 7. For slot 8, yeah, Warlock without Eldritch Blast. That really sets her apart from the rest of them, don't it? Slot 8. Lore character Vlanya, because Satine Phoenix is a role model and an inspiration. She's given me advice before on various things, like how to care for my throat when I'm doing like voice work, and how to care for a wig when I'm doing costuming. Satine is just such a delight, such a beacon of light in the D&D industry, and I think she's the bee's knees, so I really adore Vlanya, because every time I see Vlanya, I think, ah yes, Satine. For game mechanics, that's really tough, but I'm gonna go with Hitch. I'm gonna go with Hitch for game mechanics. Oh, I see a skin I can change. Nope. Sure, okay, whatever. Walnut. Take that off. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hitch for game mechanics. Hitch has always been good. I don't think there was ever been a point in time when Hitch wasn't a good character to use. Whether as a DPS or a support, Hitch has always been in the list of like good champions that you're gonna be using. He's not the best, he's definitely not the worst, but he's definitely good. Just good overall design. Simple. But the rework of Hitch has all this like dagger bouncing stuff that makes his buffs even stronger. That's fantastic. I love that. How fun is that? You can just, there's the bling, 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 bling. It's fun watching that dagger bounce around. So I like Hitch. Alright, slot 8. Favorite character for lore is gonna be Drizzt. Because it almost feels obligatory, doesn't it? He's the poster boy of Dungeons & Dragons, for crying out loud. Everybody knows Drizzt. The one character that has inspired 1 million copies, as everyone who's ever been, I don't know, like a kid growing up on Forgotten Realms novels wants to make their own good-aligned Drow Ranger with dual swords and a Panther companion, or whatever. If you yourself, you don't have a Drizzt character that you've made, a Drizzt clone, you at least know someone or have heard of someone who has made a Drizzt clone. I'm sure you're at least aware that it exists, that Drizzt clones are a thing. For game mechanics, Ayla, done. Big winner on Ayla. Oh my gosh, Ayla's a fantastic design. You can put her anywhere in the formation. I will always sing the praises of Ayla. She's easy to use and fun to use. She's so good. Okay, well maybe not everybody, but most of you, I'd say. I feel like it's a safe bet, maybe at least most of you know at least someone who's done a Drizzt clone. I've never done a Drizzt clone, but I definitely know people who have. Okay, slot 10. Favorite character for lore. I'm surprised at my answer for this. It's gonna be Eliwick. Not because I'm a particularly huge fan of Eliwick herself, but of what she represents. That she represents this amazing crossover event. The literally decades-long awaited crossover of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons & Dragons. Eliwick represents that in Idle Champions. And so if I'm going to choose a lore character for slot 10, I'm going to pick Eliwick for that reason. I think that there are other characters in the Magic the Gathering Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set that are more interesting than Eliwick. I really like Nadar, the Dragonborn Paladin, because I'm a sucker for paladins in general. And a Dragon Paladin? Heck, yes, that's cool. But I will be content with Eliwick, at least. And for gameplay, Tyrell. Tyrell's easy to use. Wild Shape, baby, or Moonbeam, either one. Powerful. Easy to use. He's always been good. He's always been very good, in fact. Slot 11. Lore. Avrin. Game mechanics. Warden. Yeah, so shout out to Dylan. If I had to pick the character in this slot that I like the game mechanics of the most, like that I find the most appealing to me, it's actually Warden. It's simple. You put Warden out there, stack up those hex stacks, and then start blasting. I love the cosmic horror theme going on with Warden. Like, you look at Prudence, and sure, she might be a warlock of Cthulhu, for crying out loud, but Prudence's silhouette doesn't scream cosmic horror to me. It doesn't scream Elder God, Eldritch Terrors. It doesn't. Warden does! So, yeah, like, game design-wise, I like Warden the most. But lore-wise, it's definitely Avrin, because Todd is a force to be reckoned with. And my own character, Mars, might turn to Avrin in search of power, depending on how things play out in that ongoing story. Slot 12. Oh boy, slot 12. Favorite character for game mechanics is actually Neris. I really like playing Neris, even though she doesn't get a lot of love. She doesn't get a lot of popularity in slot 12 in general, but her spirit weapon is just super cool. Her spiritual weapon, just that ghostly greatsword coming out. Oh, that's so cool! That's so cool. One of my favorite old things to do is just like set up a Frida DPS formation and then have Neris out there so that Frida, on top of just being Frida and having like her flaming wings and scorching ray and all that jazz, she also has just a ghostly spirit sword hovering around. It's so cool! Like, I want to play that character. That's so cool. And for lore, it's tough, but I'm going to go with Archon, because Archon as a character has made huge strides in changing like the stories that he's been a part of, making a like world-shaking levels of impact. The choices that Archon has made, and ending up being like an integral role in the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus official D&D campaign module for 5th edition. Wow. Talk about a cool character. The cameo in Xanadu 2, yeah. Archon is awesome. I don't like evil characters. I want to come out and say that. I don't like evil characters. But I can respect the heck out of them. So, huge respect to Warden, huge respect to Archon. Yeah. So there you go. Now I have finished answering that question from like half an hour ago. What? Why do I have a new item in my inventory? What is this? Oh, because I bought the wild offer. Right, I got a trading card. I got a Shara. I got a Steam trading card for a Shara. Whew. So, we're just kind of coasting to the end here. I hope you all have had a great time. Don't forget that we have sketching hour coming up. Let me make sure that that's still on, in fact. Yeah! Sketching hour coming up right after this. Sweet. I wasn't able to catch it last week because, I'll be honest, having my show fail because of my technical difficulties was extremely upsetting. And I might have spiraled into a depressed state for a bit, so I definitely skipped out on Sketching Hour. But this time, I'm feeling good. So I will be there. That is always so much fun. I love drawing along with everyone. Like, you don't have to be good at art to enjoy Sketching Hour. I open up Paint. I open up Microsoft Paint and play along with Sketching Hour. You don't have to be good at art. Oh, but speaking of, I want to show you guys something. I tweeted this, I posted this in the off-topic channel of the Discord, but I'm just really pleased with it, okay? This past weekend, I started getting into the hobby of wood burning, aka pyrography, and this is the third piece that I've ever done. It's just a door. Just a wooden door. It's actually supposed to be the wooden door that's on this windmill that I picked up from a art store. Yeah. I'm just really pleased with it. I think wood burning is so cool, and I look forward to doing more of this. That's all. I just wanted to talk about that for a second. You know, it's never too late to start a new hobby. I'm in my 30s, and I'm just now starting wood burning. I find it genuinely interesting. My contribution to Sketching Hour is so fun. Yeah, I'm surprised that Lauren keeps grabbing my silly, very basic Sketching Hour submissions and putting them up on the screen during the fan art sections. I do not think it's deserving of that kind of attention, but I'm flattered. Yeah. It is a nice smell, actually. Yeah, I do like the smell that you get with wood burning, but never pine. From what I understand, you never wood burn pine. That is terrible mistakes happening if you do that. Oh, that's a pretty good joke, Flanagan. Oh, my fan art submissions help us all know that you can join in. Absolutely. Okay, well then, yeah, I guess it does fulfill an important role. Yeah. It's so much fun to play along with Sketching Hour. And speaking of, I am going to start wrapping up now. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you for joining me for Mars Guiding Hand. I hope to see you all again next time. Next week, it'll be the 25th. That'll be episode 74. I guess it'll be an in-between events thing, so we'll see what kind of content update we get. I don't know what it is going to be yet. We'll see what it is. Make sure to tune in to all of the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious streams that we have right here on the C&E Games Twitch channel. There is Champions of Lore, Champions of Psychology, Bardic Inspiration, Idle Insights, Developer Insights, Griddle Champions, Star Wars Got Everything. And stay tuned right here. Don't go anywhere, because starting up in just a few minutes, you're going to have the Sketching Hour with Lauren and our amazing artists. And I'll be in chat, so I'll be hanging out with you all. Cheers. You can follow Idle Champions on social media. Please join our community. Please, I mean, if you haven't done so already, what are you doing? We've got Discord. We've got Reddit. We've got all kinds of places you can go to. I prefer the Discord myself, but I'm also on the Reddit. You can find me on Twitter, at Ryan Blake Hall, just like it says down below in the doobly-doo. And I also stream on my own channel. I'm getting a lot more serious about streaming. I'm doing like 24 hours of streaming per week. I'm doing Idle Champions, Baldur's Gate 3. I just started Tales of Symphonia yesterday, one of my favorite RPGs of all time. And also reading classic literature and poetry and arts and crafts. I'm going to be doing wood burning too. I'm basically a variety streamer, I guess. Trying to make partner. All that's over at twitch.tv/StorytellerMars. That's Storyteller Mars, one word. Thank you to Codename Entertainment, as always, for this incredible opportunity to be part of the game and the community that I cherish. Y'all are my radiant treasure. And thank you to our wonderful moderators, especially Sasha today for catching all those questions for me. You do excellent work. and I look forward to working with you more. Wherever you are in the multiverse, folks, please stay safe. Stay frosty. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Do one good thing for yourself or someone else today. Just make the world a little bit, just a tiny bit better than it was when you woke up this morning. For me, it's answering questions for people for 2 hours. And I'll see you again soon. Until next time, look sharp.